You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning, 5 o'clock, Valentine's Day.
That is right, February 14th, Wednesday morning. Thanks for waking up and joining us this morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. I left a nice card for Erin there on the kitchen table when she comes downstairs.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to date myself this year. For Valentine's Day, I have decided I'm going to make it a fun day. I'm going to eat my favorite dinner, watch my favorite non-romantic movie,
Right.
maybe go see a sunset, and have a good day.
And no one's feelings will be hurt.
No, I know, and I'm in charge of my own happiness. What a good idea, right?
I love that, though.
Right?
Good morning, John Scalzi.
Good morning to you. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
Right back at you.
Yeah, well, Stephanie, you couldn't find a better person to date.
Right?
I just tell you that.
Thanks.
Just tell you that right now. We have some lovely weather out there for you on this Valentine's Day. I've checked the fog box for your morning commute, but I'll tell you what, it is not a big deal right now. We'll keep an eye on it and see how it develops, but I don't think it's going to be a big problem. Potential is out there for some patchy fog. That's why I marked it. Otherwise, we'll look for cloud cover to start the day, followed by a little bit more sunshine as we head into the afternoon, and some mild temperatures as well. We have in Punta Gorda 4-mile visibility. You get a little bit further to the south in Lee County and you've got 1 3/4 mile, but mostly everything around here is running around 10 mile or better. We'll look for a daytime high today that again tops out warm, perhaps a degree or two cooler than yesterday, but that's about it. Otherwise, a sun-cloud mix and a warm afternoon. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, very nice. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now, an unusual backup already this morning, way up by the Ellington area. As you head toward the Outlet Mall, you'll see a slowdown there on 301 as it heads toward I-75. No reason as to why that's happening right now. Checking farther south, the northern half of Sarasota County will show nothing but a little tiny blip there at the base of your screen where Clark Road is. We can just see the westbound lane off the interstate, and that's going on. Let's check to our third map now, and we'll find out not much going on at 5:02 on this Wednesday morning. Yeah, topping our news today, the results are in.
Margaret Good will represent Florida's District 72 in the State House.
And it wasn't very close either. The Democrat beat Republican James Buchanan 52 to nearly 45% last night. Libertarian candidate Allison Foxall finished with just 3% of the vote. The three candidates were vying for the seat after Alex Miller abruptly resigned last year, citing family reasons. But Good's term will last just 9 months. The special election cost taxpayers $350,000.
But it wasn't an easy win for Good. All three candidates put up a fight. Good's campaign raised more than $700,000 overall, even receiving an endorsement from former Vice President Joe Biden and former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley. But it says it was a community effort that really pushed her over the top.
A whole host of volunteers and supporters that came out because they believed in what we were doing. They wanted to see a change in Tallahassee, and they got behind it by knocking on doors, by making phone calls, by making contributions to the campaign, and without them, I wouldn't be here today.
Affordable health care and protecting the environment, those are a few of the top issues that Margaret hopes to tackle in Tallahassee. And the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee released a statement in support of Good after her big win, saying in part, quote, Margaret Good's victory demonstrates that voters are energized to cast their ballot for a candidate who can shake up our broken political system. They also added that Democratic candidate Dave Shapiro, who's running for Congress in November, will be a very strong competitor.
A somber tone at James Buchanan's watch party last night on US 41 near Bee Ridge Road. Buchanan supporters rallied at Cafe Bocce in Sarasota, including his father, Vern Buchanan, local congressman. James said he had no regrets. He said they gave it a good shot and wishes his opponent well.
We left everything out on the field, and that's all you can do. And I'm very proud of the battle we fought, and I want to congratulate Margaret Good on her victory.
And when asked about his political future, he says he will consult with his wife. Perhaps a good idea.
I think that's a good plan right there. Well, Allison Foxall didn't come out victorious last night, but she did celebrate her efforts and her campaign on South Siesta Key. Foxall shattered a Libertarian Party state record in her fundraising efforts. She raised $30,000 in cash and doubled her total in the final month of fundraising. Well, if you were out this morning in rush hour, you know that some of the areas of traffic in this area are busier and much harder to navigate than others. So all this week we have a special report counting down the top 5 most dangerous intersections on the Suncoast.
And now we are down to number 3, and our Marla Spence joins us live from State Road 70 and Lockwood Ridge Road. Marla, good morning.
Yeah, I'm live at what's considered to be the 3rd dangerous intersection on the Suncoast. The Sarasota Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization tells us that this intersection has a higher crash severity rate, meaning that there are more drivers speeding, and the risk for severe accidents are much higher than our 5th and our 4th top intersections on the Suncoast. MPO's Executive Director David Hutchinson tells us what his organization is doing to reduce the number of crashes and the high severity rates right here at this intersection.
We're analyzing specific intersections and looking at what can be done from an enforcement standpoint, an education standpoint, an engineering standpoint, and an evaluation standpoint to help bring down the number of fatalities and serious injury crashes within our region.
This intersection could see more than 60,000 cars a day, making that another contributing factor to why this intersection is considered to be one of the most dangerous right here on the Suncoast. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Marla. We're looking forward to your countdown continuing this week.
As we go live from Manatee County to Sarasota County, it is Valentine's Day. Nothing but cakes today on Fruitville Road. Catchy name for the store there. Fruitville in honor of one of many stores that are up early this morning making specialties for Valentine's Day.
I love this.
Look at that.
That's very, you know, like if you really wanted to impress Aaron, I think you could go home and make one of these at home too.
Oh, yeah.
It might not look quite as beautiful as a Nothing But Cakes display, but you know.
Yeah, I can barely make cereal.
Oh, well, sorry about that, Aaron. Better things ahead.
Let's hope. Still ahead, latest in First Alert traffic and weather, and the latest on the domestic abuse scandal involving one of President Trump's former top aides. What the FBI is now saying in response.
And coming up a little later in the hour, crime was up during Mardi Gras. We'll tell you the latest details on 3 separate shootings there. Stick around. We'll be right back with more.
Here's a peek outside our window at 5:07. And we'll see the Rosemary District, and we'll also see our new app. It's at WWSB or at My Suncoast. Feel free to check it out for all the latest stories. And also, you can stream live as you drive out and listen to our broadcast as well.
If you've missed any of our top 5 countdown with Marla's most dangerous intersections, you can find that on the app as well.
Very good idea. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we had a little bit of a wind shift that took our winds from the southeast, kind of drew them up out of the east and even northeast today. But our temperatures are actually just a little bit warmer this morning due to the fact that we have some cloud cover around. Cloud cover thick at times will burn off, bringing mostly sunny skies, and then we'll watch our temperatures once again soar up to the 80-degree mark or better. 83 yesterday, and we'll probably get pretty close to that again today. 69 the current air temperature, dew point coming in at 67. You have a mix of clear skies and cloud cover out there this morning. The east wind blowing at about 7 will stay with us throughout the day. So we'll call it mostly to partly sunny. A little bit more cloud cover during the first half of the day, a little bit more sunshine during the second half of the day. 3 p.m. temperature will come in at around 82 degrees, and then by 7 p.m. this evening, if you're going to be out and about, look for a 72-degree temperature with a 10% chance of a shower. That's it. An isolated shower inland is the best we can hope for today. Sea breeze will be confined close to the coastline thanks to that east and northeast wind. And as we head into the evening hours, watch temperatures again fall back down into the 60s. Hour by hour through the day, we'll look at an easterly wind becoming a little bit more northeasterly. We have a frontal boundary that's basically stalled right over us. It sunk south a little bit yesterday and kind of put on the brakes, and it will eventually just wash away. But it will bring us a little bit of cloud cover, especially since winds aloft are directed generally out of the northeast, and that will bring those high, thin clouds in, as well as some mid-level clouds that should burn off pretty quickly as the sun rises. 81 in Northport by 12 noon, and I think temperatures from near the coastline will pretty much follow thereafter to around 80. Maybe an isolated shower or two in inland areas as we head into the evening hours, and then I think a lot of that is going to evaporate away. I think this model really overdoes the rainfall chance for us. I think our rainfall chance is closer to about 10% than the 40 or 50% that model shows. We'll watch Titan radar be pretty quiet through the morning hours and into the afternoon. Scanning radar really not picking up much across the state now, despite the fact that we do have some cloud cover out there. So, I think it'll be a pretty quiet start to the day. There are some showers around across the country, though, but they're back to the west. There is the potential for some thunderstorm activity back here. So if you're traveling to, say, Nashville or even Little Rock, well, you could have some problems today because of airport delays. But otherwise, most of the country looks pretty tame. Big ridge of high pressure to the north directs our winds out of the northeast aloft. That brings us those little clouds that we have to deal with this morning. Stalled frontal boundary, which is basically over us, eventually just washes away and really has little effect on us. Warm, partly sunny skies, isolated sprinkle we'll call it, and then slightly cooler today, I think, because of a couple of reasons. One, the wind shift. Two, because the cloud cover's around and it'll take a little while for that cloud cover to burn off. So heating will be delayed just a little bit, but all in all, I think we're looking for some slightly quieter conditions. Thunderstorm outlook looks pretty quiet across most of the nation, but there is that hot spot toward the center of the country. Otherwise, we're looking quiet across our region. Forecast calls for a northeast wind coming in at about 10 knots, switching to the east during the overnight. And the forecast calls for 82, our daytime high today. 81 tomorrow, perhaps. Maybe by Friday we hit the 70 mark, maybe closer to the 80 mark. And then we start to warm up again as we head into the next several days. Watch for those temperatures to climb back into the mid-80s. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take another look outside to your first alert traffic on this Valentine's Day. The roads are running pretty smooth this morning, not too much to see out there. We do have a little bit of a slowdown right there on 301 if you're heading into Bradenton area. Now, if we're going to be heading into North Sarasota County, those roads are looking pretty good. We do have a little bit of a slowdown there on University Parkway at the Diverging Diamond area and a little bit of backup on Bee Ridge Road. Then if you're headed into South Sarasota County, those roads are still looking very good this morning. No real bumps to look out for, just a little one right there on Clark as you you get off 75. But other than that, the roads are looking pretty good out there. 5:15 with your first alert traffic. Well, this morning, new fallout over the domestic abuse scandal involving one of President Trump's former top aides after the FBI contradicted a White House timeline as to who knew what and when.
ABC's Kenneth Moten tells us about the big questions around security clearance inside the Trump administration.
This morning, contradictory claims are swamping the Trump White House. The administration's story shifting over who knew what and when about the domestic abuse allegations against the president's former staff secretary, Rob Porter.
His background investigation was ongoing.
The White House first saying the FBI was still conducting Porter's background check when his two ex-wives alleged abuse, one releasing this photo of her black eye.
The White House had not received any specific papers regarding the completion of that background check.
But in a stunning twist, the president's own FBI director, Christopher Wray, told senators his agents actually gave the White House reports on Porter 4 times, starting nearly a year ago.
The FBI submitted a partial report on the investigation in question in March, and then a completed background investigation in late July.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders yesterday shifting the blame to a little-known office in the White House.
The White House Personnel Security Office, which is staffed by career officials, may have received information, but they had not completed their process and made a recommendation to the White House for adjudication.
The fallout leading right to Chief of Staff John Kelly, who told the Wall Street Journal he wouldn't have handled the Porter situation any differently, saying it was all done right. The Porter scandal has revealed dozens of top Trump officials, including the president's son-in-law and advisor Jared Kushner, still don't have permanent security clearances after a year in office. The White House is refusing to comment. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
And a second federal judge has now temporarily blocked the Trump administration from ending the Dreamer or the DACA program, which allows undocumented immigrants brought into the U.S. as children to remain here in the country. Now, that judge in New York State ruled that participants and states are likely to succeed in challenging how President Trump ended that program. A California judge made a similar ruling just last month. Congress is trying to negotiate a plan to modify DACA, but no breakthrough yet has been announced. Now, those recent rulings could mean the program will continue past that March 5th deadline.
Developing overnight, 2 people are dead, 3 injured after a shooting in New Orleans on Mardi Gras night. In a video sent to us from our sister station in New Orleans, you can see an altercation certainly developing between police and what seemed to be somebody who knew one of the victims. The crime is still under investigation. Earlier in the day, 2 other fatal shootings happened near the Mardi Gras parade route. Neither of them are connected, and police are still searching for one suspect. Well, years ago, Texans called it the 8th wonder of the world, but now Houston is looking to repurpose their empty Astrodome. Harris County commissioners approved a $105 million renovation project yesterday. It's been vacant for years. The new plan is to raise the ground under the dome and put in 2 levels of parking, creating 1,400 parking spots. Well, opponents say that sort of money should go toward other issues like flood control, but the commissioners say, don't worry, it's still a priority.
I'd really like to get back to flood control's job 1. We still have mental health. We still have the jail that's the largest mental health facility in the state of Texas. That's wrong. We got a lot of other issues. The Astrodome is a building, and it's a useful building, and we're putting it to use.
Commissioners won't have to raise property taxes to pay for it, so it doesn't have to go to the public for a vote.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Sam's Club announces free shipping on most of the items that it sells in stores. We're going to show you which ones.
And the Trump administration has a new idea to combat food stamp fraud. We'll have details of that new plan coming up. 5:19 right now. Here's one of the tourist attractions of Philadelphia, the Love Statue on Valentine's Day.
That's right. The city of brotherly love is celebrating big time.
This is actually called John F. Kennedy Plaza, dedicated in 1967. But due to that little sign, it's now called the Love Park instead. Center City.
I like that.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the 2 newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Fact: the top 3 Marriott hotels in North and South America are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, according to a recent survey of 363 Marriott hotels. The Marriott at Grand National, the Marriott Shoals Hotel, and the Grand Hotel. And 2 of the top 3 Renaissance hotels are also on the trail: Ross Bridge in Birmingham and the Battle House in Mobile. Southern hospitality still rules. For reservations or information, visit rtjgolf.com/resorts.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Join ABC7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off, courtesy of ABC7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org. The Circus Sarasota box office at the big top, or call 941-355-9805.
There's a live picture of the rotunda in Washington, D.C., where the Senate will take up the Dreamers bill today. Debate begins this morning on Capitol Hill. Right now it's 35 degrees in Washington. They should see a high there of 56. We'll see a high of 83 today. John Scalzi's forecast is on the way. 5:22 right now. Good morning, Suncoast.
Well, the Trump administration wants to deliver food directly to food stamp recipients. Now, some are comparing this new proposal to the home meal delivery service Blue Apron. The USDA America's Harvest Box would be sent to some 38 million people, filled with staples like milk, fruit, grains, meat, and pasta. Now, the Trump administration claims this new program would save nearly $130 billion over the next 10 years. Consumer advocates fear that those food boxes would reduce the choice that some families could have difficulty in receiving them. Now, under the proposal, food stamp recipients would still get about half of their monthly benefit on an electronic card that can still be used at local grocery stores. And the CEO of Taco Bell is moving to a rival restaurant chain. Chipotle announced yesterday that they are going to be replacing the company founder, who will stay on as executive chairman. Chipotle has been struggling to really recover from food safety incidents that sickened hundreds of people starting back in 2015. Now, in a statement, Chipotle praised their new expertise in digital technologies and branding. The company also indicated it wanted to replicate some of Taco Bell's social media savviness.
The Bichon Frise.
All right, step aside, Winter Olympians. There is a new top dog in town. The 142nd Westminster Dog Show has picked this year's winner, and it is the Bichon Frise. I hope I said that right. Won Best in Show. The competition was rough, with nearly 3,000 competitors from more than 200 breeds. Now, these pups are more than just impossibly cute. They're top-tier athletes.
We're really just celebrating what we've always been celebrating, which is man's relationship with their favorite four-legged canine.
And it is a dog-eat-dog world. Purebred winners from 7, can I get more cliches in this? 7 main groups, all competing for the biggest title of them all, Best in Show or Top Dog. Now, Biggie the Pug won big in the toy group. I love this name, My Sassy Girl. She won a nod in the Hounds division as well. All right, I love the Westminster Dog Show. Well, Rolls-Royce is calling its first SUV the Cullinan. That is right, it's named after the largest flawless diamond ever found, weighing in at nearly 1.5 pounds. Queen Elizabeth actually now owns one. Rolls-Royce said its new luxury vehicle has flawless quality and preciseness to live up to the name. It's expected to be fully unveiled to the public without the black and white camo that you see here sometime later on this year. Well, online dating and social media have made it easier than ever to meet new people and find dates just in time for this Valentine's Day. Oh, but the downside, it is also a breeding ground for con artists and catfishers. Now, con artists create compelling backstories and full-fledged identities, and even trick you into falling for someone that doesn't even exist. There's obviously a whole show called Catfishing on MTV. Now, they could be trying to steal your personal information or your money. Now, there are some tips on how to spot some of these online dating scammers. Now, they tend to post really good-looking photos, like absurdly good-looking photos, and tales of financial success. If they seem too perfect, your alarm bells should be going off. Catfishers will also try very quickly to get you to move to communicating through email, messenger, or phone, getting off of those dating sites and getting something a little bit more personal. A catfisher will begin speaking of a future together way too quickly. They often say they've never felt this way before. They know all the right words to say to really, reel you in with the catfishing.
I recall those days, yes.
Yes, yeah, there's some dangers out there. But it can be helpful for a lot of people, too. There's 3 couples that I know that met on online dating sites and ended up getting married, so there's plenty of success stories.
Some say it's safer there than the bars now,
I would second that.
Right.
Could be, could be. All right, well, Sam's Club is getting into the e-commerce business by soon offering free shipping.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Di Macedo have details this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bite, Sam's Club is now jumping onto the free shipping bandwagon.
Taking direct aim at arch rival Costco and Amazon, Sam's Club now says it's offering free shipping on 95% of its online merchandise with no minimum order size for Sam's Plus members.
Your Gmail is about to take on a life of its own.
Google is rolling out new technology that enables the senders of emails to automatically update the messages.
For instance, if you have a flight confirmation email, your email would automatically update if the itinerary changes.
And if you're looking for love on this Valentine's Day, well, there's an app for that.
Yep, dating apps like Bumble and Tinder. Well, they say there's a big surge in use today. Tinder says there was a 20% increase in usage last year on Valentine's Day.
Any luck?
No. People keep swiping left.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites. Brought to you by Transamerica Life Insurance.
With the right guidance, this is saving for retirement.
I need a dollar.
This is saving for your son's college.
And I need a dollar.
And this is saving for your daughter's wedding.
Well, I need a dollar.
This? Well, this is just scary. Feeling it.
My story, would you share your dollar with me?
Show your clients the power of combining wealth and health. Be a part of what's next at transamerica.com.
I found out the hard way. Not all washes take care of intimate odor. Now I know better.
Vagisil Odor Block Wash helps stop odor before it starts for 24 hours of odor protection. So get more from your wash. Get all-day freshness. Vagisil.
You thought about it. Dreamt about it. Maybe you should just go ahead and do it. We're LegalZoom, and we've helped over 1 million people just like you start their own businesses. LegalZoom, where life meets legal.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. because love has no labels.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
ABC 7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, batter up. The Pittsburgh Pirates officially kick off their first spring training workout this morning in Bradenton, celebrating 50 years in the city.
Counting down the top 5 dangerous intersections on the Suncoast, and today I'm live at the top 3.
And fans lined up around the building to welcome Trey Burton back to Venice. We'll hear from the Super Bowl hero this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Happy Valentine's Day. It is 5:31 on this Wednesday, hump day as well.
Yeah, what a neat thing for Trey Burton to come back as a hero last night.
Right? Amazing. And, you know, it's very interesting, though. There is now some controversy around that play. One of the head official, actually, of the NFL is coming out saying he doesn't know if that play should have ever been allowed.
Why?
Yes, because he said it wasn't quite up to par with, like, the way that it was officially brought out. That's the best way I can describe it.
Talking about the trick play when Trey Burton of Venice.
The Philly special, as they call
threw the ball to the quarterback.
I loved it. I'm like, that's creativity. That's Super Bowl. That should be all good.
Yeah. Speaking of trick plays and creativity, here's John Scalzi.
Yeah, I need to hear more about that from the NFL officials before I accept that. We're looking at some pretty nice conditions across the Suncoast this morning, I think, for your morning commute. Fog could be a problem in certain areas. Patchy. It's very patchy. And it's really not all that thick in most places. We got 10-mile visibility in Sarasota. Venice coming in at 10 mile. But there are some places where the visibility, especially as you go south or inland, have been slightly reduced. So we'll keep an eye on that through the morning hours. But right now, not a big problem. Just put in the back of your mind, potentially it could develop. We're looking at a 7 a.m. temperature of 67 degrees with a little bit of cloud cover around. The cloud cover caused by a stalled frontal boundary. That'll burn off, though, and bring us a mostly sunny to partly sunny sky by afternoon. We'll get up to about 82 degrees. Again, another warm afternoon coming our way. As far as what we'll talk about over the course of the next half hour or so, these clouds, how long they'll continue before we get pristine blue skies again. The above normal temperatures that has been all month long above normal temperatures. When will we see a little break in that? And whether or not this dry weather that we've had will continue. Complete forecast in a few.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. That earlier issue up by Ellenton has since cleared up, so it's mostly clear. A little blip there at State Road 70 and Lockwood Ridge. More on that in a moment, ironically. Also, you'll see there on Bee Ridge Road as you get past Honore and head toward Cattleman and the interstate. A little slice of congestion right there. And farther to the south, we'll check that map. Looking pretty good so far. I think we've got one more map now, and we'll see an accident there on I-75. As we click on that, we'll learn more details about it, and that's going to tell us that you can still go 75 miles an hour there.
Right.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign.
Northbound, 2 lanes are blocked around that section at River Road. That's exit 193, so be aware of that. There's the information right there. 41 intermittent lane closures from Salford Boulevard to Sumter Boulevard. So a little more enhanced coverage there of the South County area at 5:34 on this Wednesday morning.
Well, speaking of those roads, if you plan to hit the road this Valentine's Day, you know that certain ones are much busier than others, and sometimes those intersections are far more risky. So all this week, we're counting down the top 5 most dangerous intersections on Suncoast.
And up to number 3 today, our Marla Spence is live from State Road 70. 70 and Lockwood Ridge Road. Marla, good morning.
Yeah, traffic is picking up in this area of State Road 70 and Lockwood Ridge Road. And you know, more than 60,000 cars on a daily basis travel through this intersection, making it a hot spot for congestion. Now, although that might sound like there's a higher risk for accidents, the Sarasota-Manatee Metropolitan Planning Organization tells us more cars doesn't necessarily mean a higher risk for accidents. The executive director of the organization tells us that clear roads oftentimes see more deadly crashes.
Some of our busiest roads, when they're not at their peak busyness, they tend to be the ones where there's more potential for people speeding and having serious accidents.
Now, some people in this area say that the red lights on these signals up here are another contributing factor to why there's congestion, also crashes and accidents, because travelers are trying to get through those red lights as soon as possible before they change, and then they might get cited with the ticket. Whether that's true or not, that's something that we're working on finding out, and we will bring you the latest. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Sounds busy there already.
All right, thanks, Marla. Please be careful out there at the world's most dangerous intersections. Well, one of the reasons that there are a lot more people out on the roads today, obviously heading out and buying all their gifts for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, florists and bakeries are busy today. This is a live shot of a bakery on Fruitville Road at Honore. Cute name called Nothing Bundt Cakes. One of the many stores that are starting early today, making specialties for Valentine's Day. Stay in control of your news. You can customize what news you want to see on our app, whether it's local, state, or all of the above. Just download our app by searching WWSB or My Suncoast at the App Store.
Well, there may be a new Wawa gas station opening in Sarasota. Developers plan on moving forward with a plan they proposed over a year ago to open a new Wawa near Fruitville and Lime. Local business owners have expressed concerns about the impact on traffic and drainage in that area, but they have been reassured by developers that there had been a preliminary traffic study done just to assess the area. Now, that gas station won't be coming anytime soon, though. It could take up to 6 more months just to get that approval.
6 Manatee County business owners are accused of selling vapor products to minors. The Bradenton Herald reports that undercover sheriff detectives pulled off a sting at over a dozen locations around the county. A person under 18 was sent into 14 locations with the intent to purchase vape products. 6 failed the test, and therefore 6 clerks have been issued notices to appear in a Manatee County courtroom.
Well, 3 neighbors are facing criminal charges this morning after a bizarre fight broke out in their neighborhood. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says it started at a home on Flamingo Boulevard on Monday night when a neighbor confronted Amos and Raul Trevino about a fire in their backyard. Now, an affidavit reports that Amos grabbed a metal trailer hitch and then hit the neighbor. Then another neighbor came to the scene to help, and that person was attacked by Raul, who was swinging a PVC pipe. Now, deputies say that Jessica Gray then stabbed one of the neighbors with a grilling fork before the victims were able to escape. All 3 are now facing various charges.
Crime survivors from the Suncoast were among those trying to convince state lawmakers to create better services for victims seeking support in Florida. More than 200 crime survivors from across the state gathered in Tallahassee yesterday. According to the Bradenton Herald, they're asking for state reforms to help crime victims who struggle to get help.
Well, police in South Florida are searching for a man accused of abducting a 10-year-old girl earlier this week. Police say before he stopped at a mini-mart, he drove by a bus stop and grabbed a 10-year-old girl that was waiting to go to school. Police say he offered her a ride to school in his blue Kia, and she accepted.
Years of age, black male, he's got a beard, he's wearing a stocking cap styled headdress, possibly a gold tooth in the front, and last seen wearing green pajamas and a white shirt.
Police say he offered sexual activities, and she demanded that he take her to school, where he dropped her off unharmed. But the man here that you're seeing right there is still at large this morning.
Lawyers for a Powerball winner that won over $500 million are trying to retain her privacy in a New Hampshire courtroom. Her lawyers say she should be allowed to claim the $560 million prize and remain anonymous. But the district attorney says transparency is important for public faith in the lottery's fairness.
People trying to identify who the winner is. Who the winner is. People want to identify that. And why? Because they want to target her for their own personal reasons.
And I don't have discretion. This is a public document. Her name is on the back of it. I cannot by law alter it. We're a government agency, right? This is not my money. This is not our money, the chairman and I. This is not our money. This is the people's money.
Now, some state lawmakers in New Hampshire are trying to change the rules surrounding anonymity for lottery winners. Lawyers advise that if you ever do win the lottery, Stephanie, consult with an attorney and create a trust before signing the ticket, and
do all those things.
And share the winnings with your co-anchor. All right, baseball fans hit the jackpot.
That's right, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're opening their 50th spring training in Bradenton, right?
That's what I hear, yes. The big anniversary this year. Pitchers and catchers are scheduled to start their workout later today at Pirate City. But before then, they'll be helping Bradenton's nonprofit called Our Daily Bread by feeding the hungry from 10 until noon this morning. Nice way to start the spring season.
Well, the Tampa Bay Lightning finishing up a quick 2-game road trip tonight in Buffalo. The Lightning have lost 2 straight games and 3 of the last 5, but still lead the Atlantic Division by 1 point ahead of the Boston Bruins. Tonight, the Sabres get a 1-0 lead. The Bolts' Yanni Gourde, he tied it at 1 in the first period. Now the Sabres continue to fight for the win. They came out victorious last night. Final score 5-3, Buffalo. Go Lightning.
Former Venice High School football star Trey Burton returned to a hero's welcome last night, 1 week after helping his team win the Super Bowl. Look at this. Fans lined up around the side of bogeys more than an hour before Burton even arrived. He says it's been a whirlwind since they won, but that he's excited to be back in Venice. Burton says he can't thank everyone enough for their support.
It's special, you know. I remember after I won, one of the first things I thought of was, man, how can I bring this home so everybody can celebrate with me? And this was the first idea I came up with, and Peacock and I put this together, and it's something where everybody can experience it and enjoy it with me.
Now, Peacock is not his pet, that's his coach in high school. Look at that throw. He said he had a dream as a kid to throw a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and he did it. That trick play last week. Burton was the star quarterback at Venice High School some 10 years ago.
And speaking of the Super Bowl, one lucky shopper at the Goodwill store in Bradenton bought an old Green Bay Packers helmet for $4.99. Now, using social media, Justin Doyle reached out to Williams to confirm whether or not the helmet had actually belonged to that specific player, Tyrone Williams. He confirmed that it was not only his, but he wore it during Super Bowl 32. I love Goodwill stores like that. You never know what you're going to find. You can seriously find some amazing treasures.
It's true. A lot of
you
people,
never know what you're going to find.
People submit things that they don't want anymore that could be very handy for you.
Like a Super Bowl helmet.
Well,
I might have held on to that one, though, if I was Williams.
True.
Yeah.
Still ahead, the latest and first alert traffic and weather, and a new study about eating habits that may explain some weight gain.
Right, slow your roll. And a love story unlike any other. We're going to show you how this frog is looking for love and just why.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC filter hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Thousands of award-winning Honda SUVs are on sale from $189 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You've got to see these SUVs. Get a surprisingly spacious 2018 HR-V, $189 a month, or step up to Pilot for $289 a month with available seating for 8. Plus, we have Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, the 2018 CR-V, and Ridgeline, a Car and Driver's 10 Best, all on sale for up to $3,805 less than the competition at your local Honda dealer.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC 7 to get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC 7, we're here for you. Now your ABC 7 first alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
68-degree temperature down 1 degree over the course of the hour. We're at 67 as our dew point, and we do have some cloud cover out there. The cloud cover kind of caused by an easterly or northeasterly flow over the Atlantic, picking up some moisture, slinging it back in this direction. No worries, though. It's a thin layer of cloud. It should mix away pretty quickly as the sun rises on the Suncoast. The east-northeast wind comes in at about 7. A little northerly twist to the wind today might do a little bit to bring down some slightly drier air by afternoon, making the afternoon feel just a bit more comfortable. I mean, it's going to be a subtle change, no doubt about it, because the front really didn't sink far enough south to give us a major change in our weather. That is occurring to the north of us, but not here. 82 degrees by 3 p.m., well above average temperature once again, as it has been all month long. We are looking at temperatures that stay in the 70s as we head into the evening hour with about a 10% chance of an isolated shower. Those showers building inland will tend to dissipate as they get closer to the coastline, so most of us will not see any rainfall at all today. As we head into the overnight and evening hours, we'll drop down into the 60s, and tomorrow morning it should be another start to the day that's similar to today, perhaps with a little less cloud cover. That's about all. That's about the only difference. If you take a look at the hour-by-hour futurecast through the hours, you'll notice that, well, we get into sunshine, we get into clouds. It'll kind of be a on and off sort of thing, especially in the afternoon. I think we'll pick up a little bit more sunshine as this thin layer begins to mix away into higher levels of the atmosphere. And then perhaps an isolated shower or two. That's really about it. This computer model, I think, more accurately depicts exactly what to expect later on today, and that is not much in the way of rainfall, even though we could sure use some as we head into our driest season. By tomorrow morning, again, a little bit of patchy cloud, a little bit of clear sky, and a very nice warm start to the day. We're not seeing anything on radar here, and you know what? We're not going to today either. It's going to be a very quiet afternoon, but that's not true everywhere across the country. Pacific Northwest seeing some coastal showers and snow showers, and if you're traveling today to, say, Nashville or to Kansas City, there could be some issues at those major airports with some problems in terms of rainfall and thunderstorm activity. This low stays north of us. It'll eventually cause some snow showers in parts of the Ohio Valley. High pressure for us eventually will just wash away that front completely, and we don't need to think too much about it. Northeast wind coming in at about 10 knots. That'll again bring down that slightly cooler air perhaps. And I do mean slightly, by a degree or two. Yesterday we hit 83, today maybe 82. Tomorrow we'll probably be at about 81. Next couple of days we'll feature that lower humidity. And then we'll start to warm again as we head into the weekend. And by the time we hit next week, we could be in the mid-80s. Some computer models even suggest upper 80s for next week. Back to you.
All right, we are loving that forecast. Let's take a look at outside at your first alert traffic. Things are looking pretty quiet so far this morning. Not too many traffic issues come in. Just a little bit of a glitch on 301 there in Manatee County. In North Sarasota County, those roads are looking pretty good as well. Just a little bit of congestion on Bee Ridge, but again, nothing much to see there. Then in South Sarasota County, those roads are looking pretty good. You're starting to see a little bit of congestion coming off of 75 if you're going on State Road 681. And a little bit farther south again, the roads are looking pretty good on there as well. If you're heading into the Venice, Nokomis area, all those roads are pretty smooth out there this morning. Again, 75 is looking pretty good in some of the South County areas as well. We do have one traffic issue to tell you about. US 41 westbound, intermittent lane closures from Salford Boulevard to Sumter Boulevard, and that's in Northport. So something just to keep an eye on out there for you. It is 5:50, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, in this hour's Health Smart, when it comes to eating, slow and steady wins that race.
ABC's Arlette Saenz tells us about another study to slow down.
A new study from Japan shows that your eating speed could influence what you weigh. Researchers looked at 6 years of data on more than 59,000 overweight Japanese people. They asked, how quickly do you eat? That fast eaters, it seems, had higher body mass indexes. Why? It might be because the body takes 20 minutes to recognize that the stomach is full. Fast eaters continue to eat after they're full because there hasn't been time to feel full yet. Other links to higher weight? After dinner snacking and eating dinner within 2 hours of sleeping. Their message, if you want to lower weight, you might try lingering a bit over your meals. With this Medical Minute, I'm Arlette Saenz, ABC News.
Well, sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince, or so the saying goes. But this Valentine's Day, a suitor on Match.com really is a frog, and he's named Romeo. This 11-year-old Bolivian water frog is on a mission to help save his species. You think you guys have a dating drought? Romeo's been calling out for a mate for the past 10 years with no luck. Match.com has teamed up with conservation groups to help in the fundraising for little Romeo to finally find his Juliet. The online dating giant is going to match each donation made all the way through today for Valentine's Day.
Very clever.
That's a long drought, but let's pull through for Romeo.
We'll update the top local news headlines and have more news after this.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Here we go.
We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC 7 is seeking an account executive to join our winning sales team. This is an outside sales position covering the Tampa DMA. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Well, here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
Siesta Key lawyer Margaret Good is off to Tallahassee. She beat 2 other candidates last night in a special state house election to replace Alex Miller.
Plus, batter up. The Pittsburgh Pirates officially kick off their very first spring training workout this morning in Bradenton. And coming up next hour, we're going to show you what airport goers can use at Tampa International Airport to make connecting flights a little easier to get on starting today.
It is Valentine's Day, and we'll show you a local bakery next hour with all the local news here as well.
That's right. Back with another full hour of news. Thanks for joining us this morning on Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7. We'll see you back here.